Suppose you've been following SpaceX next-generation rocket's progress. In that case, you're probably used to the milestone of the first orbital launch being repeatedly delayed. The Super Heavy, the most potent rocket in history, is set to go into space this week for the first time, according to a statement from SpaceX. How did SpaceX accomplish this fast turnaround? After practically overtaking more established and older players, SpaceX is committed to maintaining its dominance in the private space business. By securing launch contracts from industry and governmental clients, SpaceX is advancing quickly. However, the visionary CEO Elon Musk's fierce personal ambitions constitute a significant factor in the company's expansion. Musk's main goal is to sell permanent residence on Mars. However, he also wants to make space travel accessible to everyone, not just the super rich. Musk is directing the creation of the Starship, the most potent rocket ever to accomplish this. The Starship serves as the foundation of the Mars colonization effort. It will carry enough cargo and personnel to the Red Planet while keeping the cost of operating as low as feasible when the journey begins. The Starship is built into two stages. The upper stage, sometimes known as the ship, or more confusingly, the Starship, and the lower stage, also known as the Super Heavy. Without a doubt, the Super Heavy is the most potent booster rocket ever constructed. Despite producing massive power, the booster is completely reusable, and a single Super Heavy can be used more than once. In the space industry, it is unheard of for the Super Heavy to be ready for the next launch within 30 minutes of a landing. Still, you can trust Musk to bravely go where no one has gone before. The Super Heavy is a huge structure that rivals the height of many well-known structures. It has a 9-meter diameter and a height of 69 meters, and it can hold 3,400 tons of fuel, with a gross lift-up mass of nearly 3 million kilos. Its in-house developed Raptor engines produce a powerful thrust. The Super Heavy may return to Earth by disconnecting from the upper stage and landing on its 6 retractable legs. Musk has designed a Super Heavy landing that is more spectacular. A pair of arms linked to the launch tower will catch it mid-air. Even Musk is aware of the danger until the technologies develop. However, he is still going to move forward. Other groups eagerly anticipate the Super Heavy just as fans can't wait to see it enter orbit. For example, the US Army is considering deploying it to swiftly transport massive items around the globe. SpaceX too is looking to use the Starship to provide rapid transport for travelers on Earth. Musk has also demonstrated the immense potential contribution of the Starship to space research. He explained how a Starship launched by the Super Heavy can transport heavy-duty equipment scientists can use to explore and investigate other planets. Up to this point, all the testing done in the development of the Starship has been suborbital. However, due to its complex design, the Starship must be put through stringent testing before gaining approval. The SpaceX crew has been working around the clock in Boca Chica, Texas. The company has extensive facilities to prepare the Super Heavy for this historic launch. SpaceX has been installing the new Raptor engines on the Booster 7 prototype of the Super Heavy, but that was after some necessary repairs were completed on the booster. SpaceX then began verifying that the booster was back to speed. This was promptly followed by filling the tanks to the brim with at least 3,000 tons, or 6.5 million pounds of liquid nitrogen and oxygen in what is known as a cryogenic-proof test. Less than 48 hours after completing its first post-repair test, Booster 7 nailed another full cryo-proof test. Days later, SpaceX attached a crane to Super Heavy B7 and removed it from the orbital launch mount before rolling the rocket back to Starbase's build site. Just what went on here should have been disclosed by Musk on his favorite communication channel, Twitter. Still, installing the more powerful version 2 RAP rocket engines was exciting to many fans. The Booster 7 has room for 33 Raptor engines, which produce about 7,600 metric tons of thrust when fired together. Not long after that, Tess Larati reported that SpaceX has rapidly working towards a static fire campaign to qualify the booster for flight. This is crucial because it determines whether it is fit for flight. Musk added to the excitement by confirming on Twitter that SpaceX had all the Raptor engines needed for the first orbital flight. Before this, SpaceX was spotted moving in lots of Raptor engines. However, SpaceX is taking its time as it simultaneously encases Booster 7's Raptors in engine section and shrouds that will protect them during static fire testing. These shields will protect them during launch, re-entry, and landing if this booster makes it that far. Around the same time, SpaceX began installing grid fins on Booster 7. However, SpaceX was also working on the orbital launch site. It has refilled the massive tank farms that store subcoolers and distribute thousands of tons of liquid oxygen, methane, liquid nitrogen, and a few other gases. This step is important for a full wet dress rehearsal, which has also never been done with Super Heavy. The process would need to fill the booster with around 3,400 tons of fuel. After this, SpaceX installed Booster 7 on the orbital launch mount with the help of a giant robot arms on the launch tower. This would mark the third time Booster 7 was going onto the mound, the first time being in March before it completed 2 cryo-approved tests, and the second time being in May when it returned from a repair. By this time, SpaceX had finished the arrow covering chimes or strikes the car-size grid fins, Starlink internet dishes, and most crucially, other 33 upgraded Raptor V2 engines. This means Booster 7 should be able to produce about 41 more thrust than Booster 4, which is theoretically capable of. SpaceX also finished installing Booster 7's Raptor heat shield during the same period. This is significant because SpaceX completed 6 weeks of work that took a boost of 4, more like half a year, but testing Booster 4 didn't get as much priority as Booster 7. Musk explained that the static fire test campaign would start with just a few Raptor engines being fired. In reality, SpaceX has never fired more than 6 Raptor engines at a time and has never fired more than 3 Raptors on a booster. The arms performed as expected, lifting the booster onto the mount before it was secured by its 20 hold-down clamps. These arms are complex, but they are not sensitive to the wind, which would be a problem if SpaceX used cranes in the open Texas fields. Meanwhile, Booster 7 would have to be taken off the mount again after an incident involving an unexpected explosion and fireball. Musk revealed the damage was minor, but a trip to the factory was still necessary. What happened was that during what may have been a partial wet dress rehearsal, a dispersed cloud of methane gas found an accidental ignition source and exploded with a force that at least one observer estimated was equivalent to several pounds of TNT. The drama stretched over Howard SpaceX attempting to empty Super Heavy Booster 7 of its fuel to prevent more explosions. It was also scrambling to avoid stoking a fire at the pad. Within the week, according to Musk, Booster 7 would return to the launch pad. The Raptor engines, with minimal damage, would probably be repairable by SpaceX, allowing them to be used again on a future rocket. The explosion may provide SpaceX with crucial information that can enhance the robustness and effectiveness of Raptor and Super Heavy's heat shield. Still, a routine check of Booster 7 might take a week or 2. The worst-case situation is that the break might take a month or longer if additional chronic damage is found. The aft heat shield needs to be removed and replaced, or numerous Raptors must be replaced. There are 2 ways to look at this, or 2 possible outcomes. If the Super Heavy recovers quickly, it suggests the prototype rocket is primarily in fantastic form after such a strong anomaly, which is good news for the rocket's durability throughout the next ground and flight testing. If the reverse is true, SpaceX must carefully examine whether Booster 7 is ready to support the Starship's orbital launch debut or even move on with static testing. SpaceX recently finished stacking Booster 8 regardless of what happens with Booster 7. If given the go-ahead, this new prototype might replace Booster 7 in a matter of weeks or join a repaired Booster 7 at the launch pad for preliminary proof testing as its predecessor tries to resume its initial static fire campaign. That is our video for today. We hope you like it. Share all of your thoughts with us in the comments section below. Well, that's all for now. This is Big Tech Media. See you again tomorrow. Keep in mind to like, share, and subscribe.